Are you manifesting something? Of course. What are you manifesting? Are you concentrating on the what or on the how? Let's figure this out, because we always want to manifest the what. We want to concentrate and focus on the what, not the how. Don't get hung up on the how. Hi, my name is Babs. My channel is called Manifest with Babs. How original. My website is manifestwithbabs.com. You can book sessions on there. I am a manifesting coach. I'm also on TikTok. Let's get right into it. So, sometimes, and especially when it comes to money, people actually concentrate on the how. Money, almost always, I would say more than 99% of the time, is the how. And when we manifest a person or a job, we often worry about how it will come in, because sometimes we're worried that it'll come in a negative way. But if you tell the universe exactly what you want, I want my manifestation. You only have to do this ever. You only have to do this once. Trust me, you only have to do this once. Universe, I want my person to come in healthy and happy, and I want this to happen in a healthy, happy way. And I want no one to die. If you need to put that in there. Man, I have heard of some people, things happening exactly what they wanted, but people had to die for that. If you don't want that, maybe specify that. And then also maybe change your core beliefs, because that helps a lot. So specify exactly that you want your person or job or whatever to come in a positive way, in a great experience, right? And then that's it. And all we do after that is concentrate on the what. Always the what, not the how. And again, money is almost always the how. Here's an example. So I get a lot of people, either people want to manifest love or money. That's usually one or the other. It's pretty common. When they want to manifest money, I ask, what do you want to manifest? What are you manifesting? Why? And a lot of other coaches I know, I've encountered them, they ask the why because they want to give the mind a reason to then make all of that money, right? Oh, write a list of vacations and money spending, bills paid, spoiling people, etc., etc. And that's your whys. Make sure you know your whys. But why I ask your why for money is, that's how we determine the what. This is actually how you determine the what for any manifestation if you're unsure if you're concentrating on the how or the what. Because sometimes you could be doing all the other steps in my 4-step system right, except you are not clear enough to the universe what you are actually asking for. So the universe is trying to give you these things and you're like, that's not it. I'm not getting it. Or nothing is happening. So it could be that you're not clear enough on the what. Okay. Why do you want this person? This is also a big part of detaching. We're giving ourselves these things. What are you manifesting on? Drop a line below. What are you manifesting on? Let me know. So when we're manifesting anything, figure out what the what is. So with a person, if you're looking for that unconditional love and happiness, then you want to give this to yourself. That's A, detaching, and B, it's also giving yourself something. And since the law of attraction states that like attracts like, we can only attract this person with these things that they give us if it's already in us. We have to vibrate that. We have to be that energy first. That is the law of attraction. Look it up. Like attracts like. If we're not that, we can't attract that person, right? So figure out your what. Why do you want this person? I want unconditional love and happiness. I don't want to be alone anymore, whatever, right? Figure it out. And then concentrate on the what. You want to be in a happy, loving relationship, and maybe make it separate that it's with that person, because it's so much easier for the universe to combine that person with that want of the relationship than having everything entangled. As soon as you entangle multiple manifestations and make them dependent on one another, it's so much harder to deliver, because there are so many steps that are in between. Everything could vary, so many variables, and it's so much easier to detach all the manifestations from each other, or better words used is you're separating all the manifestations. That's why I want you to figure out the what and see if you're concentrating on the what or the how. And then, for example, a great example is the money. That's the most common one. Oh, I want to make $100,000 so I can go on vacation, so I can pay all my bills, so I can spend all this money, so I can have fun, so I can save money, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, let's stop. These are all your whys. That's great. But let's make them separate manifestations. It'll come in so much faster and so much easier. One manifestation, you want all these vacations and take your family on vacations. Another one is I want all my bills paid. That's a whole nother separate thing. I'll go into it in a second. Another one is you want to spend money and buy things. Great, that's a manifestation. What does it feel like to get into that feeling and have that? And another one is whatever, right? Just break them down. When it comes to the bills that have to be paid every single month, I would say write down a budget. This is how I learned this. Write out a budget of the things that you need to pay every single month in order to survive, that come out of your account every single month or year, whatever one. And then the universe will see, okay, that's what's needed. The universe always provides. You ask, you will receive every single time. And the things that you need for survival, it always takes care of. This is true. I have tested this many, many times. If it doesn't work, then it's because you're not clear enough. Because things that you need for survival, such as bills paid, that house, the electricity, the food, everything, those are actual needs. You're not attached to them unnecessarily. And manifestation, like a person or a certain job, that's a manifestation and we get attached to those. But something that you actually need for survival, food, water, roof over your head, hopefully, that is a survival need, and the universe will provide as long as you're clear enough on what you need. Okay, we get the budget out of the way. You need these bills paid, done. Okay, all the other ones. I want to spend every month, I want to be able to spend $3,000, right? You could make a need budget. That's what I have. And I also have this, a want budget. So one could be like $40,000 for my bills, and then the other one is like $250,000 because I love money. And then I say, you can just want money to want money. You don't need a reason to make $250,000 or $100,000 a year. You don't. And if you don't even believe you can make that much, then change your core beliefs for sure, because that's where the hang-up might be. Or if you need to make this money to show yourself that you're successful and that you feel great and good enough and all of these things, then it's definitely a core belief issue. But you can manifest all these things even with crappy core beliefs. So you can work on your core beliefs and manifest at the same time, or not work on the core beliefs and still manifest and get what you want. You just have to be clear on what you want, right? So I want to make $250,000 a year because I love seeing that money in my account. I love having that money. I love it. And then I want to say, I want to be able to spend as much money. I want financial freedom. That's a good way to concentrate on what financial freedom, financial abundance, vacation, spending money, all of that. So separate everything that comes with the money. That is so much easier already for the universe to deliver to you. Separate everything. Everything is a separate manifestation. I want to buy a saddle for my horse. I want my horse's bills to be paid. I want to be able to have extra spending money, whatever. Write it out. Writing out is the best technique ever to actually clear out the things that you want and don't want. Writing is awesome. Things don't manifest just because you write them out. Things don't manifest just because you say them out loud once or twice. The more you concentrate on something, this is where fears come in. The more you concentrate on something, that's focus work, the more likely it is to eventually push out. That's why we want to accept and then override fears instead of just ignoring them and pushing them aside, right? Different subject. Anyway, concentrate on the what. Always the what. So in the 4 steps I teach, and I have a video, please look for it. In the 4 steps that I teach, the most used steps are steps 1 and 4. The what, the end result, the feeling of the end result, and I want it, I don't need it. But really the most used one is 1. And then 2 and 3 come in quite often, but they're not as used as often as step 1. Step 1 is the most used one. It doesn't mean that it's the most important one. I want you to realize that every single step of the 4 steps that I teach are equally as important. Equally as important. Every single step has its purpose. And if you do these steps, you usually will get what you want. I can't say you will get what you want because that's attachment as long as we think it will happen. That's attachment or resistance, both. Could be either. Anyway, when you do the 4 steps over and over and over, you will get what you want because manifesting works and deliberate manifesting works. That's why you're here. That's why you're hoping you're here, right? But step 1 is the most used one. It's not the most important one. There are a lot of coaches that say just do step 1. That's Affirmation looping is just doing step one, step one, step one. You're ignoring everything else. You're building up resistance and you're so attached, you're feeling crappy. Affirmation looping is not healthy and it's not effective. It might give you spotty results or no results other than feeling like shit, because I've tried it. I've tried all these techniques. This one is the worst. Affirmation looping. Affirmation looping is just doing step one over and over and over. And there are 4 steps, at least 3 steps. Focus work, release, resistance, detach. So there's at least 3 steps, and I teach 4 because that's how I learned it and that's how it works the best for me. Anyway, you want to concentrate on the what at all times, right? No matter what happens in the 3D or in here, everything at that point is just old energy and playing out over and over, the old story over and over. Old energy, what I call it, is the old story playing over and over and over. They don't want you. They don't want you. They're not with you. You don't have that job. It's the opposite of your manifestation. That's the old energy. So that's playing out until it clears out, and then boom, the manifestation comes in. That's how it works. That's when you align. So concentrate on the what, no matter what happens, not the how. Sometimes you could be doing steps 2, 3, and 4 perfectly right, and you're not getting results, or very spotty, and they're kind of weird, or you're getting multiple people come in, but not the same person. It could be that your step 1 is off and you're not clear enough on what you want. It is actually quite important what you want. If you don't know what you want, figure out what you don't want. Start that way. Figure out what you don't want. If you don't know what kind of job you want, figure out what you don't want. I don't want to work for someone else. I don't want to have not any vacation. And that way you figure out your wants, right? Or if you don't know exactly what you want, concentrate on how you want to feel, because that's still a what. How you feel is the what. That's how I teach manifesting, is getting to the end result feeling. And then I support it with a visualization and an affirmation. But the feeling is so magical and so important. One of the most important things. So again, concentrate on the how. Again. Drop a line. What are you manifesting? Please share. I want to know. It could be small, it could be big, it could be medium. I don't care. Share it. Yeah. Anyway, back to the how. Don't concentrate on the how. Money is almost always a how. Break it down. Make all of the things you want a separate manifestation. It'll be so much easier to get it. And then again, stay with the what, not the how. If you're manifesting a person, you're worried about how they will come in, just clarify once or twice to the universe that you want them to come in a positive way, in a great positive experience. You could imagine it, but you don't have to. You just have to clarify what you want. So when the first time I manifested a person back, and then yes, I've done it multiple times, but first time I manifested this person back, right? He's the one I usually talk about because he's the best example. That's when I learned manifesting. And I was like, oh my God, can I think about the house? Am I allowed to think about the house? Yes, of course. Just don't get hung up on them. I was thinking about him contact me on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook, by text, because I believe that he still had my number. I imagined all these ways. I imagined him just showing up at my door. And I didn't try to get hung up on these hows. Whenever I was gravitating towards one how, I'm like, yeah, that could happen. And then I added another how and another how. I'm like, oh yeah, they all could happen. You don't know how they will come in. Other than we already clarified we want it to be positive, you don't know how it will happen. Why do you need to know? That's control, that's attachment. You're just scared that it won't happen if it doesn't happen this one way. No, just give the universe the freedom, because when we get the manifestations, they usually come in more than 100% of what we want. They're usually mind-blowingly awesome and so good. And boom, what happened? This happened. Oh my God. So yes, you can think about the house. Just don't get hung up on it. If anything, get hung up on the what. But again, if you just get hung up too much on the what, then you're doing affirmation looping or scripting looping or visualization looping instead of just making it natural and feel good. The feeling is what gets us there, because we're feeling beings. We're so emotional, and that's okay. That's the whole manifesting process that I teach, is all about emotions and how you feel about each step. It's okay. We are this way, and it's beautiful to feel these things. I will make a video about people who are scared of feeling, because everyone is scared of feeling. But generally, we love feeling good things, right? So when you're manifesting a person, how does the person come in? It doesn't matter. Imagine all the house, or the money too. Imagine all the house, how the money, lottery. Ooh, I could have That's actually a fun exercise. How could the money come in? I could have an inheritance that I had no idea about. That has happened to me 3 times or more. Oh my God. So anything anything is possible. All you need to believe in manifesting that anything is possible out there. Somewhere out there, this could be somehow possible at any point in time, right? So yes, you're allowed to think about the house. Just don't get attached to the house. Because if you needed to come in this one way, oh, I need him to show up at the door. No, you don't. It could be different. So when he came back, he added me on Snapchat by phone number. So it was like 2 things combined. I imagined the Snapchat once or twice, ever. That was the least likely, I actually thought. But it showed by phone number. So I knew that was my proof that he had my phone number. Like, oh my God, I was right. So it does work. And then 3 weeks later, he actually showed up at my door. So all of it kind of happened. Don't try to control the how. The when is also part of the how. It's usually just fears that gets us hung up on it. Just do the steps and work through these fears and let it go. That's how we start letting go. And I don't just mean letting go with detaching, letting go of the control. Because fear is the only thing that makes us want to control things. So again, concentrate on the what and not the how. If you're concentrating on the how, figure out why you want it, and then figure out if that's the what or the how. I hope this helped. Have a great day.